Good evening, everyone. I am Peggy Kelly, the president of Alumni and Friends of Mentor High School. Welcome to the 2022 26th Annual Mentor High School Hall of Fame Induction Dinner and Ceremony. We're honored to have special guests this evening and would like to recognize them. Would any members of the Mentor School's administration and staff and members of the school board please rise? Thank you. Would any local officials please rise? Oh, come on. Would any trustees, board members, and members of Alumni and Friends of Mentor High School please rise?
All right, we're here.
Okay. All right. We also have a large number of past Hall of Fame inductees, and we wouldn't let tonight go by without recognizing you too. So if you're a Hall of Fame inductee, please rise. At this time, I'd like to introduce Tricia Porter-Scott, the Alumni and Friends Vice President, to talk to you about our scholarships.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming tonight. So we are here, the Alumni and Friends from Mentor High School, and we have a scholarship program. And the 2022 Alumni and Friends scholarship recipients were Carolina Andrada, going to Cleveland State University, Nicholas Armstrong, going to Lakeland Community College, Caitlin Higginbotham, going to Ohio State University, and Sophia Kwiatkowski, going to Miami University. And you'll see, actually, it's in your program. There's a page here, and I'm just going to basically be reading off it. That each year the Alumni and Friends of Mentor High School award scholarship money to deserving Mentor High graduates who are attending college, career tech schools, and other postgraduate training. To date, we have awarded over $30,000 in scholarship money since the inception of the program in 1999. Donations for the scholarship program are greatly appreciated. If you would like to make a contribution to the Alumni Scholarship Fund, please see one of the committee members up here. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of Mentor Schools, Bill Porter.
Thank you and good evening. Thank you for being here for the 26th induction ceremony of the Mentor High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. It's one of the highlights of the year to be part of nights like these where we have the opportunity to honor some of Mentor's finest graduates who have continued to represent our community well in the years after high school. This year's inductees span from graduating Mentor High School 11 years ago to 60 years ago. So I imagine each of their experiences at Mentor High School might have been quite different as the years went by, but one thing that has remained the same is the annual Cardinal Notes. What better way to first introduce you to our inductees tonight than our tradition of flipping through these old yearbooks, which you'll see some pictures on the screen to my left. We begin tonight in 1962, grabbing the 37th edition Grabbing the 37th edition of Cardinal Notes off the shelf, we found Lawrence Clement before he was senior, pictured among the 227 Mentor High School seniors. The book opens to a lovely illustration of what we now know as Memorial Middle School, as it was the high school at that time. And this was also an era when students dressed in their very best for school picture day. Looking good there, Larry. Larry spent some of his time in high school working around the football team and running concessions. The theme of the yearbook was Thanks for the Memories, And from what Larry shared today, we know he made a lot of fun memories during his time at the former high school, and we hope he made some more good ones spending time with us today. Congratulations, Larry. Moving into 1967, it may have only been a few years later, but it was a whole new school where Pamela Tice walked the halls of Mentor High School as Pamela Jones. Enrollment had grown to more students, and the class of 67 was up to 413 graduates. This edition of the Cardinal Notes boasts that the new Mentor High School is not only a beautiful building with ultra-modern facilities, but it's the wonderful students that fill the school with life and value. Pamela was definitely among the wonderful students. She was involved in everything from working in the yearbook staff as a photographer, to language club, to a cappella choir, and more. She even served as a tour guide. I hope she was able to remember those days finally as she met today's student tour guides and had the opportunity to see their 2022 version of an ultra-modern Mentor High School. Congratulations, Pamela. Skipping ahead to 1982, we find Karen Blankshane in Cardinal Notes, Volume 57. And the theme was Top Secret and is made to look like a detective's case file. Luckily for us, we cracked the case quickly, and Karen was very easy to find in this yearbook as there was a senior spotlight focused specifically on her. Karen was a busy student and athlete playing volleyball, basketball, and softball. She also participated in clubs and activities like Teen Institute and worked as an umpire in her spare time. In her spotlight, Karen shared that Mentor provides you with many opportunities to develop interests and talent through sports clubs and class choices. Well, Karen, it seems you definitely made the most of your opportunities, and I hope you felt the same way when you were touring the halls of Mentor High School today. Congratulations, Karen. Now on to 1992. Michelle Farley is known as Michelle Hamlet among her 712 classmates. Mentor High School is growing at this point to be one of the largest in Ohio, and students shared that they were happy that having a lot of students meant having a lot of opportunities. Michelle was one to jump at the chance the opportunities provided, and even though she was busy working and volunteering, we found her pictured in the Cardinal Notes taking part in fun activities like powder puff football. The yearbook explains that Mentor student body keeps one thing constantly intact: Cardinal pride. I hope this recognition and your time in Mentor today fills you with Cardinal pride once again. Congratulations, Michelle. Next, the turn of the century happens and we venture into 2003 to find a young Craig Sandstrom on the pages of the Cardinal Notes yearbook. Craig hails from the largest of the graduating classes this evening, 778 students strong. Still, Craig did not get lost in the crowd. While he was a busy student with many activities on the calendar, he found time to play lacrosse as a member of the first ever Cardinals lacrosse team, and also able to perform in the top 25 show choir. Craig was also a Boy Scout, and as you know, the Boy Scouts focus on doing something to help others each day without expecting anything in return. And those are great words to live by, and Craig continues to live by that philosophy today, which you'll hear about later, and his giving spirit is a part of what earned him a spot in the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Craig. So just over 10 years ago, Cardinal Notes Volume 86 was produced, and our final inductee tonight, Allison Riley Lutz, can be found pictured among her peers. Allison graduated as one of 662 students in the class of 2011. She was highly involved in school activities, a part of everything from National Honor Society to basketball cheerleading to being a majorette in the Fighting Cardinal Marching Band and more. Allison, it is wonderful to see that you championed those great characteristics that made you a standout student and evolved into a meaningful career as a news producer. And also still taking the time to be a super volunteer, giving back to the community often. The theme of the yearbook was One in Every Crowd, and we can say for sure you are the first one from the 2011 crowd inducted into this Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Allison. That is just a first look at the 2022 class of the Mentor High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. As the night continues, you will hear more about each individual and the accomplishments that have led us here tonight. On behalf of Mentor Schools and the Mentor Board of Education, I would like to say congratulations to this year's inductees. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm the last thing standing between you and your food tonight. My name is Jason Cry. I have the privilege and honor to be the principal of Mentor High School. I'm also a former graduate of Mentor High School, so it's very special for me to be here tonight to honor so many great individuals. Congratulations to our 6 Mentor High School Hall of Fame inductees. Thank you to their families for being here to celebrate tonight, and thank you to our Alumni Association for putting on this great event. Now, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we gather here this evening to celebrate and honor the achievements of 6 special individuals who have excelled in their own lives and in doing so made a positive impact in the lives of others. Being together today has given us the opportunity to share experiences, laugh, connect with one another, reflect, and grow. Bless our meal and grant us a compassionate and understanding heart towards one another. Amen.
Okay. The year is 1967. Discotheques and singles bars pop up in cities around the world. Twiggy and miniskirts are popular. The first issue of Rolling Stones is released. Popular for its iconic covers, John Lennon graces the first cover, which only sold about 5,000 issues. The Beatles released Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Top song, To Sir With Love. Top quote, our repairmen are the loneliest guys in town. Maytag Appliances. The NTSB is created, the National Transportation Safety Board, following pressure created by Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed. The average cost of a new home is $22,700. The average annual income is $8,200. Mentor City Council develops the first comprehensive development plan to create guidelines for growth and development. And Pam Jones-Tice graduates from Mentor High School. Ms. Tice earned her BA in elementary education from Heidelberg University in 1971, and her MS in educational education from, I hope I say this right, Gwend Mercy University in 2002. After an illustrious career in teaching and developing curriculum and teaching methods in STEM classrooms, Pam agreed to join a team consulting with the highly challenged school systems to promote STEM education. She has mentored new teachers, planned multi-year teacher development, and constructed a curriculum in line with the state and national standards. Her efforts have resulted in an impressive increase in state assessment scores and students seeking STEM-related careers. For these reasons, Ms. Tice was chosen to work with math teachers in Cairo, Egypt. There she trained STEM school teachers and administrators in lesson planning, formative assessment, and learning philosophy and practices, generating the same success in Egypt as she did in the U.S. Pam's outlet is her singing. She has sung with the Hillwood Singers and the Philadelphia Singers Chorale at Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, and at the Academy of Music of Philadelphia, amongst others. Ms. Tice is very active in Emile United Methodist Church, in the sanctuary and bell choirs, but also as a Sunday school teacher. She serves on the Parish Relations Committee, co-chair of Finance, lay leader, delegate to annual conference, daycare board, and Christ servant leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pam, 2022 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
Wow. I didn't quite know I did all that. I didn't do it all at once, though. But thank you. I'm honored and I'm deeply touched to be among this distinguished company tonight. Thank you to my persistent friends and classmates, among them Debbie Ruff, Larry Disbrow, Tom Ruff, and Tom Marr, Alice Hengesbach, Faye Johnson, for their support and assistance in this process. I don't want to leave out my husband, Gary, who also contributed, nudging, and are you finished yet? Did you get that in yet? So thank you. My children are here, Matt Lee, Carol Lee, Elizabeth Marshallek, and Marla Tice, plus 2 of our 8 adorable grandchildren, Liev and Grace. So we're happy they're here. Now, my siblings, I'm number 5 of 9, just so you know. Most of my siblings are here, thank you, and they have bets about whether I can do this in 5 minutes. So I'm going to win this. So I've given a lot of thought, because of my place in the birth order of this large family, to birth order and its effect on a child, as well as resiliency factors and the effect of those on children and as they grow into adulthood. I'm the blessed recipient of at least 3 of these resiliency factors, as we call them, in education. And they are the presence of caring and supportive adults. They don't have to be your parents. They can be any adult. The positive connection to faith and culture. And not least, a positive school environment. When I arrived at Menor Shore Elementary in grade 5 in February, very cold day, in 1959, it was my 5th elementary school since kindergarten. Now, right there, that's a red flag for us as educators about a child. It could have been all downhill from there, except for these resiliency factors. There was an immediate acceptance and friendship from the class, from the 5th graders, as if, oh, hi, Pam, come on over. You want to play jacks? You want to go out and play volleyball? You want to sit on the swings and learn how to sing about the Titanic? A few things that we did. And that positive school environment made a huge difference in my life. Teachers with well-placed, so I hope Pammy can take voice lessons on my report card, writing to my parents, and they didn't know I could read cursive that early, and I did, and I thought, oh, voice lessons, what are those? Have you finished your college application yet? From so many teachers. That was from Ted Hieronymus, our wonderful former choral music director at Menor High School, who was instrumental in my acceptance and my success at Heidelberg University. My friend Debbie in 5th grade told me all about her parents and how they met at Ohio Wesleyan University. So I decided that's where I was going to go. And I saved up my change and had a grand total of about $2.50 at the end of 6th grade for my college education. It gave me something to look forward to, something to look ahead past what I was living in, and a hope for the future. So fast forward from grade 5 mentor to today, all due to those who took an interest in this child, this teenager, this young adult, and even an older adult, and using a well-placed word of support or just a call to task when needed. I didn't need that very often. And most of all, shared themselves and their wisdom with me. So thank you. I'll leave you all with this. This is a quote that I saw on Wednesday at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't let your situation define you. And one more quote, and this one is from me. And never underestimate the power of a well-placed truth in the life of a child or an adult or any other human being for that matter. Thank you again for this incredible honor.
Present you with your award. Take a quick picture. There,
Oh,
it
there
did.
we go. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so here. And I'm just gonna walk you down, okay?
The year is 1982. The Commodore 64 became the first popular home use computer. Michael Jackson's Thriller is released. Late Night with David Letterman debuts on NBC. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial is dedicated. I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts is the top song. Top quote, E.T. Phone Home. The place to be was the San Fernando Valley, home of the Valley Girls, made popular by the movie Valley Girl and Frank Zappa's hit song Valley Girl. They made Val speak the language of the day, like seriously, totally, for sure. The smiley emoticon is introduced as a way to express emotion in an email. The average cost of a new home is $69,000, and the average yearly income is $23,400. The railroad underpass opens on Reynolds Road, and Karen Blanksheen graduates from Mentor High School. Karen started volunteering in elementary school as a Girl Scout and hasn't stopped since. As the need for volunteers has grown, so has the list of charities that Karen works with. Each month you will find her handing out food with Hearts to Hands. Toys for Tots benefits from a collection at a Brown's tailgate breakfast where Karen will be found cooking, serving, and cleaning. Lake Humane Society, Sub-Zero Mission, American Red Cross, and Christ Child Society are just a start. She is also active in 4 for 4-H, Leukodystrophy, American Heart Association, Susan G. Komen Foundation, Santa's Hideaway, and the Mentor Alumni Association. She's been involved in and coached many youth teams in Mentor, several PTAs and class reunion committees. If you have attended a local sporting event or fundraiser, chances are you have seen or heard Karen keeping score, coaching, or selling raffle tickets. This die-hard Dolphins fan is even a part of the Positive Porpoise, the Miami Dolphins-based organization raising funds for local charities. In Karen's words, I always knew that giving back to my community would be part of whatever else I did in my future. Helping others brings a sense of worth to my life that I find nowhere else. I encourage everyone to spend some time helping a less fortunate. It will fill your heart in the most amazing way. I intend to continue donating my time until I am no longer able to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Karen, 2022 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
For those of you who know me, I am usually a really good talker, but I don't do speeches very well, so this is new for me. And thank you, Peggy. As Peggy said, my community service became part of my life back in elementary school. I continued throughout my school years at Mentor and through high school until graduation, doing various activities within my school and doing my volunteer work. When I graduated from high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Not a clue. But I did know that giving back to the community was going to be a part of it. Since I was asked to give a list of the organizations that I've volunteered for, I realized that what I had forgotten were some of the more important ones that I was a part of. But the list that I gave them contained over 30 organizations, and I never realized that that was how many I had been a part of. Volunteering is a part of me. I wouldn't be me without it. It's given my life focus and purpose. Currently, I work as a legal secretary for the Lake County Prosecutor's Office. And while I enjoy my job, my passion and what gets me through the day at that job is my community service. As a single parent, I wasn't able to create a program for oops, I lost my place. Sorry. As a single parent, I wasn't able to create a program for the needs I saw in our community, but I have been more than willing to be the one putting in the work to help when an opportunity has presented itself to me. From youth sports programs in Mentor to NFL charities, as everyone said, as it's been said, I'm a Dolphins fan, huge fan. Could have been at the NFL draft, but I'm here because this is more important. I've worked with different organizations from different teams, not just the Dolphins. I've done Cincinnati Bengals. I've done some things with the Detroit Lions. It grows every year. My son is a part of an organization that I do a lot with, and I've met NFL fans from all over the country, and my son has joined me in the efforts to give back to the community, and I want to acknowledge my son Sean over there because he's done quite a bit with me over the years. Before COVID, I offered hugs to anyone who showed up where I was volunteering. During COVID, I had a 90-year-old man come up to me, give me an elbow bump, and he said, "Until I can get another hug from you, that's going to have to do." Moments like that are what have kept me going, and the people I have met have touched my heart in ways I didn't know I needed. While I'm honored and humbled to be inducted into the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame, I feel that what I do is something that is ordinary and everyone has the ability to do it. In fact, I would recommend it to everyone here. Helping others brings a sense of worth to my life that I can't find anywhere else. I encourage everyone to spend some time helping those who are less fortunate or down on their luck. It will fill your heart in the most amazing way. I want to thank my parents for giving me the example to give back. At 80 years old, my mother is still doing that every day. I miss my dad, but I know that he's always supporting me still in the background. Thank you to my family and friends that are here and all the ones out there who have been very understanding when I've been late to or missed an event because I was giving back to the community. And most of all, I would like to thank the committee for finding me worthy for this award, and the organizations who have given me the opportunity to volunteer, as well as those in the community who have allowed me to serve them. Thank you.
You did it.
The year is 1992. Hurricane Andrew pummels Florida. The Mall of America, the largest shopping mall, opens its doors. A new Japanese word, bushusuru, was coined after George W. Bush publicly vomited on the Prime Minister of Japan during a formal state dinner. The word means, do the Bush thing. South Africa ends apartheid. The beating of Rodney King sparks rioting in Los Angeles. Euro Disney opens. The song I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston was the top song. Top quote, there's no crying in baseball, from Tom Hanks, A League of Their Own. Average cost of a new home is $122,500, and the average yearly income is $30,000. Menor Fine Arts Center is finishing up being built and opened the following year in 1993, and Michelle Hamlet Farley graduates from Menor High School. Upon graduation, Michelle found her calling in the retail world. She has had positions at Victoria's Secret, the Disney Store, American Eagle Outfitters, holding store manager positions, and is now the regional manager for Althea. Mrs. Farley holds awards from all three stores for customer service, associate happiness, and engagement, and for excelling in all areas of business. Once a Cardinal, Michelle still is and ever will be. She has been active in PTA at both Rice and Fairfax Elementary and has organized fundraisers for the Menor Travel Baseball. Currently, Michelle is very active in Redline Club. During the 2020 football season, she shopped, cooked, and delivered 130 individual meals for players and staff. She is also in charge of all aspects of the spiritware sales and in reinstating the player volunteer program, getting players out in the community to help those in need. Michelle is also involved in youth football for both the Navy and Ohio State teams, working concessions, year-end banquets, and fundraising. She can also be spotted around town cleaning up the grounds at James A. Garfield Home and painting the benches at Menor Public Library. Not by herself, but with 15 or more volunteers she recruits for community service. Michelle works with the City of Menor on their Earth Day cleanups at local parks. She then volunteers to read to long-term patients at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michelle, 2022 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
As you can see, I have a rowdy bunch. Thank you. So I'm off the cuff kind of girl, so I don't have any notes prepared, but I did practice to make sure I stay within the 5 minutes, so hopefully I can make that happen today. First off, I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees into this year. I had a great time today getting to meet everyone, learn a little bit about them, and it's so fun hearing about you all here tonight. So congratulations and thank you so much. Menor High has given me so much. I feel like I have lifelong friends that are here, that we've spent a lot of time growing up together since our years at Menor High School back in the 1990s. My husband, Bob, I met him in high school. We were in B lecture study hall together. He's laughing. I used to get in trouble because I would, talk a lot during class, and then I have to sit in the front, and then I knew then that I was going to get married to him. My friends all thought I was crazy, but here we are, 23 years in June we'll be married. Without my husband, I wouldn't have my 3 boys. I have Bobby, who's raising his hand there because he likes to be the center of attention. Bobby, Nick, and Jackson. Bobby was a 2020 graduate during COVID. Right now, he is currently working full-time at Steris. He's already got a promotion there. I'm super proud of him, and he's waiting to get into the pipe fitting trade. My son, Nick, he is a senior. He's going to be graduating this year. He played football 4 years. My son, Bobby, played football 4 years as well. Played football for 4 years. He played basketball this year as a senior. He was not very happy when we popped in and visited his class today, so hopefully you got a good score on your quiz, Nick. And then I have my son Jackson. He's going to be starting high school in the fall. He is also a football player. He plays track and basketball as well. He had a great season this year as a team, 8-0. So excited for what they'll do coming up, starting in the years to come. I talk about football a lot, as you heard. I have a lot to do with the football program. Trisha and I work together at the Disney store, so a lot of those volunteering things that they spoke about, we did together as a team. My Disney store team is back there. So we did a lot of that together. Right now, most of my giving back to the community does come through the way of the football program. I love the football program. I love giving back to the football program because of what it does for our kids, my boys. I feel like it really helps them grow into great young men, great citizens, great, soon to be husbands and fathers. I couldn't do the work that I do with the football program without my mom and my mother-in-law. So my mom, Karen, and my mother-in-law, Barb, they have helped immensely, tons of hours with the things that we've done. When they talked about all that stuff or doing all that stuff for COVID, that was my mom and my mother-in-law helping immensely. They're like the Grammy and the mom of the football program. And my friend Jackie, she does all the fun crafts and helps me with those things, which is awesome. The thing that I think is important to give back, I wish I could do all the things that Karen did, and I love how you said it fills your heart, when you can do those things. I'm a full-time working mom in retail. As you heard on my team, I have a lot of my team back here that I've worked with throughout the years. What I love about working in retail and working with people is they bring out the best in me. I try to surround myself with people that are smarter than me, can do more than me, so they make me want to be better and do better every single day. So thank you guys so much. There's my teams back there. I really appreciate having you guys here today. Thank you. In closing, I would say if you have someone in your family, a child, a loved one, a niece, a nephew, that it gives a lot of time to a program that they're in. So when they're in football, they are practicing hours and hours and hours all of the time. It's important to them, so we need to show them that it's important to us by giving back to those programs as well. And if everyone can do that, it would really just make the world a better place, and we could all have our hearts feel so full, like Karen had mentioned. I know that's how I feel in the work that I do with the football program. Mary Beth roped me into it. Thank you so much, Mary Beth. I started out just kind of helping with doing team meals on Fridays. And then one day at a meeting, she said, "Hey, I'm going to be the co-president, and Michelle's going to help with that." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that'd be great. Thanks. Sign me up." So I'm really glad that she talked me into that, because I do love all the things that we do for the football program and for Mentor High. So I wish that there was more that I can do, but there's only so many times and hours in the day. So thank you so much. It really means so much to me, to all of my family, for being here today, all of my friends and the people that I've worked with throughout the years, and then again, all of the amazing inductees today. So thank you so much.
Hold it down. Yeah, just keep holding it down.
I gotta do one more because I don't think
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
The year is 2003. The Department of Homeland Security officially starts their operations. Americans rename French fries to Freedom Fries to protest France's stand on Iraq. MySpace is launched. Arnold Schwarzenegger is elected governor of California. The top song is Hey Ya by Outkast. The top quote, "Just keep swimming," from Finding Nemo. Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King won 11 Oscars, winning every category they were nominated for. For this reason, many consider it to be the greatest film of all time. The average cost of a new house is $246,000, and the average yearly income is $45,000. Mentor celebrates the dedicated opening of the I-90 and 615 interchange, and Craig D Sundstrom graduates from Mentor High School. Craig attended Marietta College after graduation, earning his BA in political science. He then moved on to law school at the Oklahoma City University School of Law and is a member of the American Bar Association, Oklahoma, and Ohio Bar Associations. During his college tenure, Craig served as a member of the Campus Union Board, tutored elementary students, and helped local merchants during the 2004 flood. Mr. Sundstrom's focus on his legal career is sustainable energy, beginning with a position with A New Energy in Oklahoma City and moving on to Washington, D.C., working for Congressman Cicilline as a legislative fellow. In 2012, Craig became Senior Legislative Assistant for the National Governors Association, managing policy development, including crafting policies, letters to Congress, and congressional witness testimony. He also advised members on the U.S. Supreme Court and other appellate matters impacting states. Craig returned to Oklahoma to work for the Office of the Secretary of Energy and Environment as Director of Stakeholder Engagement and Counsel, and then Deputy Secretary of Energy and Counsel as Public Policy and Legal Advisor to the Oklahoma Secretary of Energy and Environment. The Sundstroms returned to Ohio, where Craig was Director of Government and Regulatory Affairs for Apex Clean Energy, and then the same position with RWE Renewals America. Craig is currently the Senior Manager, Energy and Environmental Public Policy for Amazon Web Services, leading public policy for Amazon's 100% renewable energy pledge in procurement, infrastructure, and sustainability. Craig also found time to serve as Vice Chair, Eastern Conference, American Wind Energy Association, and on the Board of Directors of the Mid-Atlantic Renewable Energy Coalition, to be a council member for the City of Hartsville, board member of his HOA, a youth soccer coach, and consult with Marietta College regarding renewable energy sources. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Craig, 2022 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
Good evening. It's a real honor to be here with you tonight. I'd first like to acknowledge my family, my wife Michelle, and our beautiful children Henry and Violet, who I'm sure you've seen dancing around this evening. My parents Mary Ellen and Doug, my grandmother Lillian, my brother and sister-in-law David and Aaron, and my dear friends Dan and Amin. Thanks for being with us tonight. It's been difficult to find a few words to share tonight, as I generally find it difficult to acknowledge that my life's work so far anyway deserves any particular recognition. At Amazon, we say we like to work hard, have fun, and make history. And while the historians will debate our success in that regard, it is true that I'm now responsible for helping shape public policy for our market-leading goals to decarbonize our entire corporate footprint. And this is no small undertaking, but this work for me, of course, is built on a foundation that was laid at Mentor High. I spent some time earlier this week to reflect on my experiences at Mentor and how they may translate to a couple lessons worth recounting in just a few moments here tonight. First and foremost, and I think we've seen this evening, Mentor High School emphasizes community. Strong communities are built on the backs of those willing to work for them, and learning this lesson at a young age ultimately led me to pursue a career in law and public service. I've had the good fortune of working for public servants across the political spectrum, and even the Bipartisan Association of the nation's governors. I have no doubt that it was my exposure to a large, diverse student body and the opportunity to interact in multiple multicultural experiences as a young man informed this work. I think, as evidenced by today's political discord, we need more leaders willing to consider diverse opinions. And after meeting some of the current students at Mentor High this morning, I am sure that we'll see more of those types of leaders walk the halls. As you can see by the cohort of inductees here tonight, Mentor High also values service to the community and to each other. And for me, I can draw a direct line between a highly influential, to me, U.S. government teacher at Mentor High School and my passion for public service and current work in public policy. Mentor High's insistence on high standards, providing valuable opportunities, and fostering intellectual curiosity for its students is a recipe for successfully developing citizens that are prepared to contribute to their communities. I so appreciate this honor, and it's been an absolute pleasure to return to Mentor High today and get to know this year's inductees further. Thanks for joining tonight, and thanks for having me back.
The year is 2011. Occupy Wall Street protests go on for months and are held to highlight income inequality. Snapchat app becomes available. J.K. Rowling becomes the youngest self-made female billionaire, although charitable giving has put her into the hundreds of millions range since then. Osama bin Laden is found and killed by U.S. Navy SEALs. The royal wedding between Kate Middleton and Prince William takes place. Top song is Rolling in the Deep by Adele. Top quote, I am a winner, by Charlie Sheen, who is also known for being the biggest scandal of 2011. The average cost of a new house is $262,000, and the average yearly income is $39,000. City Council renames Bellflower Park Edward R. Walsh Park to honor his 30 years of service as a Ward 3 councilman. And Allison Riley Lutz graduates from Mentor High School. After her graduation at Mentor High, Allison continued her education at Kent State University, earning her bachelor's degree in journalism. During her Kent years, Allison thrived in broadcast journalism, holding several positions with TV2 KSU, including news correspondent, newscast producer, and news director. She was also awarded Best Newscast and Outstanding Board Member during her junior year. In her spare time, Allison was a gold twirler with the Marching Golden Flashes and a member of the United Methodist Church of Kent Choir. Highlighting her college years, a trip to Estonia was part of an international story class. Her career path started at WBNS in Columbus as an associate producer. She then came back to Northeast Ohio as an associate producer at Fox 8 News. As a news producer at Fox 8, Allison was nominated for the Best Weekend Newscast Emmy in 2020. April of 21, she moved to Spectrum as its news producer. Even with the schedule of a news producer, Allison has found time to volunteer as Perry First Baptist Church youth group leader and to return to her alma mater to volunteer with the Fighting Cardinal Marching Band Majorettes and Color Guard. All this in less than 10 years after her graduation of Mentor High. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Allison, 2022 Distinguished Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you, Peggy. As you mentioned, I'm used to being behind the camera, so we're going to try to get through this as best as possible. When I got the call a few months ago that this was happening, I was honestly speechless. Unlike some of my inductees, I didn't know I was being nominated for this until I received the call that I was in. I was immediately flooded with all of the amazing memories in Mentor schools and in the 11 years since graduation.
I know I wouldn't be standing here today without so many family, friends, teachers, coaches, and colleagues supporting me along the way. I'd first like to thank my parents. They both grew up in different towns here in Northeast Ohio, and when I was just 2 years old, they decided to move our family to Mentor. I'm truly grateful for your support and guidance all these years. I know how important even the years at Garfield and Memorial are to me. As a journalist, I use basic reading, writing, and even math to time out newscasts every day. In fact, we're told to keep our sentences very simple so it's easy for the viewers to understand. I want to give a special thank you to Mrs. Marnick. She couldn't be here tonight, but I know she was instrumental in me standing here today. She is a teacher who continues to follow her students' paths. My mom reminded me of my senior night as a basketball cheerleader. Mrs. Marnick had seen my parents at my sister's talent show at Memorial, and just a couple hours later, there she was at the high school for the basketball game. She truly supports her students long after they leave her classroom. As the last class of freshmen at the junior highs, I was ready for sophomore year to finally arrive. I was excited to be a majorette with the marching band, combining my passion for baton twirling with what would become tremendous school spirit. Some of my fondest memories from high school were from my time with the FCMB, where one more time really never meant one more time. It was even more special that I got to share the field with some of my lifelong friends, and we were able to bring home the title of national champions my senior year. In high school, I also really developed an enjoyment for writing, which helped eventually lead me to broadcast journalism. I just want to thank all of my teachers, advisors, and more for preparing me for what would come next. It was truly great to be able to speak to some students today in the classrooms and see so many of my teachers that made an impact on my career. When I arrived at Kent State, I didn't hesitate in getting involved. I continued my twirling career with the marching band, and as Peggy mentioned, I started working for the award-winning student-run TV station on campus. I was honored my senior year to be named news director, leading dozens of students in our daily news productions. When I then walked across the stage for my bachelor's degree, I already had a job lined up in Columbus, where the reality of working weekends and overnights quickly set in. It was the first time I ever lived outside of Northeast Ohio, but I always came back to my roots. I don't think there ever was a year where I wasn't back home for at least one Mentor football game. I was actually home for a game when I got the call that I had been chosen for a job at Fox 8. Not to steal LeBron's words, but I was coming home. I credit my education for getting me back home so early on in my career, something that doesn't happen to many in my field. I now enjoy working for Spectrum News as the Cleveland producer, continuing my passion for telling stories that impact Northeast Ohioans. Eventually, I met my husband. Michael, I want to thank you for standing beside me these past 4 years. From crazy work schedules, job changes, and more, your support has never wavered. I'm so glad you have embraced Cardinal Nation. As for the future, it is bright. Last year, we planted our roots right here in Mentor. Michael can confirm I was practically giddy on FCMB Tag Day. I couldn't wait for the knock on my door and to be able to give back to a program that meant so much to me. Now I'm looking forward to raising our family, our kids one day walking the same halls as I did at Mentor High, and being involved in the community as much as I can. As a producer, I know how important it is to stick to the time frame you're given, or at least try to. So I want to say thank you to so many others, including my siblings, in-laws, and the rest of my family, those who are here tonight and those who couldn't be. I'm so blessed to have your support. I am truly grateful for this honor and to be among so many amazing MHS alumni. I promise to do my best and keep my Cardinal spirit alive in everything I do. Hashtag once a card. Thank you.
So we're going to go back to the beginning a little now. The year is 1962. John Glenn is the first American to orbit the Earth. The CIA's concerns over soccer fields along the coast of Cuba led to the Cuban Missile Crisis. The concern was that Cubans play baseball and Russians play soccer, so Russians had to be there. The first Walmart is opened in Bentonville, Arkansas. Coincidentally, the first Target store also opened in Roseville, Minnesota. The average cost of a new home, $19,500, and the average income was only $6,000. Rachel Carson publishes Silent Spring. Marilyn Monroe serenades President Kennedy with Happy Birthday. Spider-Man makes his debut in a comic book. Top songs are Blowin' in the Wind and The Locomotion. Top quote, "Here's Johnny." And the new post office in Mentor opens on Center Street. And Lawrence Clement Sr. graduates from Mentor High School. From the start, Larry had two careers, one with General Motors and the other paying back to his community. He has coached youth football, been a Cub Scout leader, co-chaired St. Bede's Bingo, helped plan the Headlands 4th of July Parade, was a trustee for the Headlands Community Center, and was active in PTA and the Lake County Food Bank, earning the Lake County Volunteer Service Award, the Lake Catholic High School Service Commendation, and was Grand Marshal of the Headlands 4th of July Parade. Mentor City Council even declared April 29th, 2017 as Larry Clement Day. Larry joined the Sons of AMVETS Squadron 4 in 2005. He is a member of the Color Guard, Squadron Commander, District Number 20 Commander. The Larry Clement Award is now given annually to honor his volunteerism. On the local level, Mr. Clement joined the Elks Lodge, number 18 in 1997, serving as inner guard and moving through the chairs of leading, lecturing, and loyal and leading night. Cleveland Lodge number 18 and Willoughby Lodge merged in 2003, and Larry was elected first exalted ruler of the merged lodges. He then served as a trustee and has held all positions but secretary, and is currently the chairman of the Veterans Dinner, transporting vets here from Cleveland during the month of November for a dinner to honor their service. Larry has been Officer of the Year more than once, Lodge Elk of the Year, and earned the Outstanding Service Commendation. On the state level, Larry has held all chair positions in the Northeast District, including District Activities Chairman, and at the Grand Lodge, he was the Deputy Grand Exalted Ruler and inducted into the Ohio Elk State Association Hall of Fame. Christmas season finds Larry in a big red suit, volunteering as the jolly old elf at the AMVETS, Elks, Headlands Community Center, and any neighbor's house who asks. He has even been seen at the Cleveland Clinic. Most impressive is the support and positive influence Larry has inspired in others while making it seem effortless. In 2017, Mr. Larry Clement Sr. became a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for Volunteerism from President Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Lawrence, 2022 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
I'm an old man, but I'm not that old. First off, just to validate things, I have my 1962 diploma. And I have some notes. In 1962, this was considered a notepad. Something you guys don't know about today. I am truly humbled and honored by this award. I don't feel distinguished. I've been told by numerous people I deserve it. I have a hard time figuring it out, but in when I was in the 8th grade at Menor Shore Junior High during the summer, we had a program there for kids to go down to, and there were 4 of us that went down there, and the one teacher there asked our names. When I got to my name, Larry, she says, "That sounds like a leader." So ever since then, I've tried to be a leader. I don't expect you to follow me. I want you to walk alongside of me. I have many people I have to thank, because this award, while it has my name on it, it belongs to everybody in here that has helped me achieve what you say I've achieved. I've been in the Elks state soccer chairman, that, well, you said Russia? Communist sport. That's what it was back then. The state soccer chairman for 16 years. But I couldn't have done that without Joe Betza and Mary Betza over there. We had a group of people, and Terry Gray, Joe, myself, and Mary, and we used to call each other stuff. I called Mary the glue that held us all together. I went over to Mary's. When they asked me to put together a resume, I'm going, okay, so I wrote things down on a paper. Did you remember my resume? On how nice and neat and it was typed up? I go over to Mary's house. I said, "Mary, I got this I got to do." Number one, I was overwhelmed that I was nominated and humbled that I was even being considered for it. Mary still takes shorthand. And I simply read to her the things that were on the paper, and she put them in an order, and I didn't know what a resume looked like professionally, and Mary did a knock-up job, and it got me. Not only did it get me nominated, I mean, it got me here. I have a sneaky suspicion who nominated me, and I'd like to thank him for it. He won't admit it. But I've also got to tell you this, that I was going to start this off saying you just made the biggest mistake in the world. Not in nominating me, but in giving me a mic. Because there goes the hanky. While I'm supposed to keep it at 5 minutes, it's very hard to sum up what I've been able to do and people have helped me do in the 60 years since I graduated. Menor High School was very good to me. But since then, in the Elks, I have gone all the way through. I need to thank Lance and Sue Knight and Karen over there. I'm the president of the PER Association, which is the Past Exalted Rulers. And as of that, we put together the installation of new officers each year, and we have a banquet, a installation and that. And I'm the MC, and I get the credit for it, but if it wasn't for Sue Knight and Karen putting it together, yes, Sue, there you are, I wouldn't be able to do it, and they do a fabulous job. And Lance also has been a mentor to me. John Felice. 2 years ago, I was in this room when John got the honor of being inducted into it. So I think John's the one that turned the tables on me, which I appreciate, John. You don't have to admit it, but it's good. He was a district deputy, and I went down to, he graduated, by the way, with my oldest boy, Larry, and I went down, he was in his office as a secretary, treasurer, and he was talking about he didn't care if he got the DD or not, he was in line for it. So I had a little talk with John. I said, John, that's a position of honor that's voted on by your peers. Now, I would love to have that position. It would be an honor that the people thought me worthy of that. So, John, it's nothing wrong with saying you want it. If you don't want it, get the hell out of the way. John went on to become a DD, one of the best I know. He did a very good job. In the Andress now, one day, Bear and Ron Evans, a couple other guys, were at a meeting. I was commander at the time, and I'm going over it, and they call a timeout, and they come in and they got this little plaque, the Larry Clement Award. And it was for, I believe, the fact that when they wanted to disband these sons and it was going down, I wouldn't let them. And I think Bear knows that, Ron knows it. And so when they gave me that award, afterwards I'm thinking, isn't this an award you name after somebody when they died? Are you trying to tell me something? And that's been in existence for 6 years, and I'm honored to have had that. Rich Brown, we went to school together. When he heard that I was nominated, he couldn't wait to come. So Rich, thank you for being here, you and Loretta. I haven't come close to 5 minutes yet, so I got to keep going. Don Schutte was nominated and installed last year. Don Schutte is one of the reasons I'm standing here. Not because he voted for me, but because he saved my life. He doesn't like me saying it, but 5 years ago, we were at Rounders. We shoot darts at Painesville Elks on Monday nights, and we had the banquet, and we went to Rounders, and Big Dale Nichols, I think some of you know him, and Greg was there, and Greg can attest to the fact that, Don, you did in fact save my life. I took a handful of popcorn, because you can't eat just one, and Big Dale told a joke, and I inhaled, and immediately I couldn't breathe. I knew it was going. I tried doing the Hamlet on myself, couldn't punch my stomach hard enough. Joe Yale come up, tried to do it, couldn't do it. For Big Don, 6'5", about 275, 280, comes up behind me, and he doesn't work. I'm shaking my head, no. And I'm running through my mind, I can't even tell him to tell my wife I love her. I'm going. So all of a sudden I feel my feet coming off the floor. So when my feet come off the floor, I lean forward, and boom, he did, and it threw out about 15 feet. And I asked him, I says, why didn't you do that the first time? He didn't want to break my ribs. I said, the heck with my ribs, saved my life, and he did. So, Don, I got to thank you for that. If I embarrass you, you know me. I've done it before, I'll do it again. I now need to say thank you to my sons, Edward, Larry. Oh, I didn't put Andy in the middle, okay. Andy's the youngest, Larry's the oldest, Edward's the middle boy. And we have this thing Larry gets a little upset about. Most of the pictures that we've taken, Andy's in the middle. And Larry wants to know, why is Andy always in the middle? Well, because they're the protectors of their little brother. So, and I thank them for, when I was inducted into the Elks Hall of Fame, there were some kids that on Facebook said to my sons, thanks for sharing your dad with me. So with me in football and softball, I got to go, oh yeah, Russ Z guy. Running the, she's starting, it's close. Running the Menor Headlands Youth Softball, at the end of the softball season, we would have a game of coaches and the kids. I hit a line drive, thought it was going out for a home run, and little Russ comes in there, 14 years old, long-legged, and does a basket catch, and down it went. So he still calls me coach. Now I got to end this up. I got to do one thing. I want to read something from the Elks, and I'm done with this. The emblem of this, the daily gifts we bestow increase our own riches. The help we extend to those in need is added to our own strength. The witchery of wealth is not in having, but in sharing. The real benefactors of mankind count their store in what is given, not in what is saved. But just remember, give if you can. To give is to receive. Oh, one day I have 3 sons, and one day a young lady comes in at the address where I work and gives me this card. Will you help give me away on my big day? So, Julie Thrower, now Julie Mason, thank you. But most of all, I have to thank my wife of 57 years, soon to be 58, August 22nd, for putting up with all my endeavors. She's always been by my side. If I needed her here, she's here. I'm an extrovert. Everybody knows that. She's an introvert. She says, go do it and come back home. And I do. My family you saw us back there in the back. That's my 2 brothers and my 2 sisters. They're coming up from Florida. My brother-in-law's there, my cousins. All you people that are here, thank you. It's indeed an honor. I'm truly humbled. Thank you. Without crying, so I'm happy for that. Because my daughter-in-law told me I'm a rom-com.
Okay, just some housekeeping. I'd like all the awardees to come up after the alma mater for a group photo with your awards, please. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have another round of applause for the most deserving 2022 inductees? I also want to take a moment and thank the LaMoffa staff for a wonderful evening. And since I heard so many talk about music, if any of the inductees would like to come up and help lead us in the alma mater, I'm going to ask everybody else to stand. The words are printed in the back of your program. Yes. You can, or if you want to, yeah. So many of you, I know Craig and Allison and Pam all had some stuff to do with music. Could you come up and help us, please? Because everybody knows Peggy can't sing. Yeah, go ahead and use these stairs over here. Took some of the pressure.
Yeah.
Yep. Made a thorn between 2 roses. You sing and I'll mouth it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can everybody stand, please?
Oh, is this it?
Yeah, those are the words.
Oh, okay, good.
So did your audio work? Huh? Did your audio work or you want
Yeah.
4 hours, 37
A day and a half.
We could have drove to Columbus.
That's fighting for us, cheer for